Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's 5 o'clock. Today, Tuesday, September 25th, 2018, for a scheduled meeting of the Board of Trustees of the McAllen Independent School District being held today at the boardroom of the Administration Building at 2000 North 23rd Street. At this meeting, there may be discussion and action by the board on the items and subjects listed on today's agenda. The items on the agenda may be taken in an order other than shown on the agenda unless removed from consent agenda. Items identified within the consent agenda will be acted all at one time. The regular portion of today's business meeting for the public will begin at approximately 6 p.m. with item number 3. At this time, I'd like to recess the regular meeting. I opened the meeting.
Yeah.
You scared me, Steve. Right hand, left hand. The Board of Trustees may go into closed session pursuant to sections 551.071, 551.072, and 551.074 of the Texas Government Code to discuss the following items: human resource recommendations for the year 2018-2019, human resource employee resignations for the school year 2018-2019, the executive director for technology, pending and/or potential litigation, and possible real estate acquisitions. So at 5:02, we are closed into closed session. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 6:01, and we are reconvening a regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the McAllen Independent School District. For the record, there was no action taken on any items during our closed session. Before I start the regular meeting, I'd like to take a moment to thank the art students from McAllen High School under the direction of Leroy Garza, Lorena Gonzalez, and Gabriel Martinez, and the students from Michael Fossum Middle School under the direction of Gloria Garza, who produced the artwork you see on display here in the board. We appreciate the hard work that goes into this, and on behalf of the board, we extend our thanks to those students and teachers. At this time, next item on the board agenda is invocation. If everyone would please stand. Invocation by Mr. Trustee Marcos Suarez. By Debbie Aliceda, and followed by Mr. Suarez, the Pledge of Allegiance.
Almighty God, we come together today for the good of the children in our schools. Give us your wisdom as we make decisions that will affect them today and in the years to come. Help us to work together, recognizing that each of us, parents, educators, and community representatives, are here because we love children and we want what is best for them. We ask for your blessing and your guidance. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Item number 6 on today's agenda is the public meeting to discuss the 2018 proposed tax rate. The Texas Education Code, Section 44.004J, requires a notice of public meeting to discuss the proposed debt service tax rate for school districts. Ms. Cynthia Richards will discuss this item further. Ms. Richards, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Mr. Vela, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Gonzalez. Today's public meeting is being held to discuss the 2018 proposed tax rate. I would like to thank the Board of Trustees for their leadership regarding the tax ratification election. And administration extends its appreciation to everyone who assisted with this endeavor. The mission and vision of the district focuses on academic excellence in a safe, nurturing, and challenging environment, and the tax ratification election projects reflect that commitment. On June 11, 2018, the Board of Trustees of the McAllen Independent School District adopted a maintenance and operations tax rate of $1.15 per $100 valuation, which triggered the ordering of a tax rate authorization election under the provisions of the Texas Tax Code. On September 8, 2018, an election called for that purpose, the voters of the McAllen Independent School District approved the $1.15 maintenance and operations tax rate. By virtue of board action and subsequent voter approval, the maintenance and operations tax rate for the McAllen Independent School District has been adopted and levied for the year beginning on January 1st, 2018 and ending on December 31st, 2018 at a tax rate of $1.15 per $100 valuation. A debt service tax rate of $0.00 per $100 valuation will be adopted and levied for the year beginning January 1st, 2018 and ending on December 31st, 2018. The total tax rate remains at $1.15. As approved by the Board of Trustees, the notice of public meeting to discuss proposed debt service tax rate was published on September 12, 2018. For the 2018-19, the total proposed tax rate is $1.15, which is the same tax rate as the previous year. At this time, Mr. Vela, you may open the floor to public comments. Thank you.
At this time, if there are any taxpayers here wishing to make any public comments as it pertains to our tax rate and today's announcement, please step forward to the podium. And this is for the public comments on the tax rate. Seeing no one step forward, Ms. Richards, you may continue, or are you finished? Yes. You're finished? Thank you, Ms. Richards. Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next item. Next item on the agenda is Superintendent's Report. I'll turn it over to Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. Achieve Early College High School spent 10 years housed at South Texas College campus and then moved to its new home this semester at Lincoln. So Achieve Early College High School at Lincoln was celebrated at its new home, and we were very excited to have a ribbon cutting ceremony last week, and we have a short video that exemplifies what went on.
I look forward to many amazing years and memories at our new home. Here at Achieve, our students can earn an associate's degree from STC, or South Texas College, within their 4 years.
And McAllen ISD was an early partner with the college in creating the Achieve Early College High School. And all the stories, everything I have heard is all about success.
And a very special thank you to South Texas College, Dr. Shirley Reed and her team for this tremendous partnership that we've had over the years. Achieve Early College High School is a driving force in McAllen ISD. As you know, we worked as a team to earn an A as a school district.
Ready? Let's do a countdown. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Got it!
We have a tremendous partnership with STC, so that makes us strong. And then the other is we have a great teaching staff here, great leadership, and our students are resilient and they perform at a very high level. So when you put all that together with supportive parents, and we're on a trajectory for continued success.
All right, so becoming an industrial world cup. All right, so I want to tell the story reading chapter 16 for now.
3Y.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. At this time, I'd like to recess the regular meeting and open up the special board meeting for public comments. At 6:09, Mr. Secretary, if we would, yes, sir. Recess and then open the board meeting for public comments. I believe we have one speaker for this evening's meeting. If you would step forward to the microphone or the podium and state your name. You've got 5 minutes. At 6:15, if there are no other speakers for the public comments, I'd like to close the special meeting at 6:15. Mr. Secretary.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Next item on today's agenda is item number 8, recognitions and proclamations. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. October is Down Syndrome Awareness Month, a chance for the district employees to help spread awareness in our community. During the month of October, we celebrate people with Down syndrome, their abilities, and their many accomplishments. Ms. Bridget V. will introduce our guests tonight, and Trustee Debbie Crane Aliceda will then read a proclamation.
All right, our first guest tonight is Demetres Flores from Jackson Elementary. Okay. Javier Delgado, Memorial High School. Isabella Montelongo, Jackson Elementary. Isabella Rodriguez, Jackson Elementary. Sophia Sainz, Jackson Elementary. Ms. Maribel Elizondo, Director of Special Ed, McAllen ISD.
Proclamation by McAllen Independent School District. Whereas approximately 1 in every 800 children are born with Down syndrome, representing approximately 5,000 births per year in the United States. Research and early intervention have resulted in dramatic improvements in the lifespan and potential. And whereas people with Down syndrome possess a wide range of abilities and are active participants in educational, occupational, social, and recreational circles of the community. And whereas McAllen ISD has supported families who have children with disabilities and special health care needs and desires to increase the support network and support groups of those with Down syndrome across our state. Now, therefore, I, Debbie Crane Aliceda, member of Board of Trustees of the McAllen Independent School District, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2018 as Down Syndrome Awareness Month. I call upon all residents and public schools to join in celebration of the many achievements of people with disabilities and their continual contribution to our community and schools. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the McAllen Independent School District to be affixed on this 25th day of September 2018 and is attested to by our Board Secretary, Sam Saldivar.
This group is here for the next agenda. We did B before A.
Wait, hold on, make sure mom's and dad.
This different names.
Now we have item 8B. National Disabilities Awareness Month is observed in October to help raise awareness for issues that disabled people encounter and celebrate the contributions of Americans with disabilities. Ms. V will introduce our special guest tonight, and Mr. Sam Saldivar Jr. will read the proclamation.
Guess for this, it's the same one. It's the same one.
Okay, so our special guests are already on stage, so
All right.
proclamation.
Here we go. State of Texas, County of Hidalgo, McAllen Independent School District, proclamation. Whereas Texas has a long and rich history regarding Texans with disabilities. Texans with disabilities have played an important role in making Texas the greatest state in our nation. Demonstrating the remarkable qualities of the Texas spirit, they've fulfilled some of our highest offices, fought in historic battles, and contributed to the art and culture of our state. Whereas public schools play a key role by providing instruction in disability history and in subjects regarding people with disabilities and the disability rights movement. And whereas during the 82nd legislative session in 2011, House Bill 3616 was passed, designating October as Persons with Disabilities History and Awareness Month. Now, therefore, I, Sam Saldivar Jr., member of the Board of Trustees of the Independent School District, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2018 as Persons with Disability History and Awareness Month. I call upon all residents and public schools to join in celebration of the many achievements of people with disabilities and their continual contributions to our community and schools. In witness thereof, we set our hand and seal this date, 25th day of September 2018. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good one. We will.
Bye-bye.
And now, item 8C, recognition of adult education welder certification. Tonight, we're honored to recognize 11 parents that have earned welding certificates through the support of our parental involvement program. Dr. Ibarra will share more information, and Bridget V. will introduce our parents and staff.
Thank you, sir. McAllen ISD strives to afford parents and families opportunities to learn skills that will lead to employment. Last school year, through the Parental Involvement Program, the district offers several workforce-ready courses. These courses included floral design, sewing, and cake decorating classes. In addition, McAllen ISD, in partnership with South Texas Community College, offered a basic fundamentals in welding course. 11 parents participated in this program. All of them earned their basic welding certification and are now enrolled at STC in a master's welding program. Tonight, we recognize these parents and we wish them great success in their future endeavors as welders. Ms. B will now recognize our parents.
And our first parent tonight with us is Mrs. Martha Lara.
Congratulations. Very well done.
Ms. Sonia Arias. Melina Mendoza. Gerardo Velasco. Rafael Flores.
Okay, here we go. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Anyone else? Mom and Dad? Well,
Before we go on, I'd just like to say that we also had record numbers in the other courses. 169 McAllen ISD parents participated in the basic cake decorating. We had 56 moms who participated in sewing classes, and we had 75 parents who participated in floral classes. And so again, we're getting ready for the next cohort. We're going to continue to grow the program, and we're very excited about the possibilities and the opportunities that we're providing to our parents. And Ms. Anjanette was not recognized, but she is our state and federal program, along with Ms. Ansaldúa, who's leading this effort.
Item 8D is approval of proclamation regarding Texas Education Human Resource Day. The Governor of Texas has proclaimed October 10th, 2018 to be Texas Education Human Resource Day. Bridget V. will introduce members of the District Human Resources team, and Trustee Larry Esparza will read the proclamation.
And tonight, to begin with the team, is Ms. Erica Guerrero, Secretary to Assistant Superintendent. Rosie Gonzalez, Position Control Specialist. Sandra Ortega, Human Resources Clerk. Maggie Cantu, Classified Personnel Specialist. Aldo Martinez, Certification Specialist. Belinda Zavala, Position Control Specialist. Debbie Harris, Position Control Specialist. Ms. Sandra Gomez, Compensation Analyst. And also Assistant Superintendent for Human Resource, Mr. Todd Miller.
Good afternoon. I have a proclamation here that I'd like to read. Mr. Farina was supposed to read it, but he's not available to be here. He's with us via Skycam, but he's not here right now. Proclamation reads, State of Texas, County of Hidalgo, McAllen Independent School District, whereas the Human Resource Division is instrumental in recruiting, selecting, resourcing, and retaining quality staff in support of providing an excellent education for all students, and whereas Human Resources plays a key role in fostering satisfaction and loyalty among employees by allowing professional growth and development and keeping employees informed about policies, working conditions, compensation, and benefits. And whereas Human Resources is a valued and respected department that sustains the district's most important asset, its people. Now, therefore, I, Tony Farina, member of the Board of Trustees of the McAllen Independent School District, do hereby proclaim that October 10th, 2018 is Texas Education Human Resources Day. The board also encourages students, staff, and parents to express their appreciation to our Human Resources team members for their dedication and commitment to McAllen ISD employees and students. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand to, and caused the seal of the McAllen Independent School District to be affixed this 25th day of September 2018. Thank you very much for everything you do. I know it's a lot of work. Mr. Miller, we have him here every meeting. We question him about everything, and he's, I know he's new to the district in the last couple of years, but You guys have done a great job in providing all the services that you do for our staff, the fringe benefits packages, and getting all that information out to them and keeping them informed and educated. So we appreciate all your hard work. Thank you.
Mr. Miller looks real good.
How do I pronounce that one? Jimena.
Item 8E, approval of proclamation regarding Bullying Prevention Month. The McAllen Independent School District Board of Trustees proclaims the month of October as Bullying Prevention Month. Bridget V. will introduce our special guest, and Trustee Sam Saldívar Jr. will read the proclamation.
I have Mr. Marcos Turk from Lamar Academy. Katie Gertwitz from Lamar Academy. Grace Kelly, Lamar Academy. Valeria Arguelles of Lamar Academy. Sarah Mendez, Lamar Academy. Valeria Gomez, Memorial High School. Mia Munoz, Memorial High School. Cynthia Vasquez, Memorial High School. Jimena Zuniga, Memorial High School. Andrea Gutierrez, Advisor, Lamar Academy. Alex Lopez, Advisor, Memorial High School.
State of Texas, County of Hidalgo, McAllen Independent School District. Proclamation. Whereas, we must safeguard schools and communities for our students, and through our recognition of the serious issues that face them each day, offer our children an environment that holds promise and security. And whereas, it is important that we acknowledge and heighten awareness about the serious issues and the negative effects of bullying, including the long-term damage it can cause in our students' lives. And whereas, providing a safe physical and emotional environment is a significant goal and a personal responsibility of each individual. And now, therefore, I, Sam Saldívar Jr., member of the Board of Trustees of the McAllen Independent School District, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2018 as Bullying Prevention Month. In witness thereof, we set our hand and seal this 25th day of October 2018. And it's attested by the board president, Mr. Daniel Vela, and it's signed by myself, Sam Saldívar Jr. We were reading an article that we receive as a board called Principals News. It usually comes 3 or 4 times a week, and just so happened today, there was an article that said 10 years ago, bullying affected 1 out of every 4 children in schools. And it's sad to report that at this time, 10 years later, it's actually now 1 out of 3 students. And so it's important you as ambassadors, you individuals that are coming forward here today and representing the school district and your respective campuses, and more importantly, every single school in McAllen ISD, to continue to demonstrate by simply saying hello to one another and wishing each other well. And when you see somebody in distress, you never know what they're experiencing outside of school, and you know this probably better than we do. And the fact that you're stepping up to do that is important, and we appreciate it. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees, we thank you very much. Anybody like to say something?
They'd like to read out the poster. Who is it that wanted to do that?
Anti-bullying pledge. So everyone can put their hand up. Yes, thank you. So repeat after me. I will speak up when I see bullying. I will reach out to others who are bullied. I will be a friend when I see bullying. Thank you.
She's standing up for what's right.
Bullying can be phone call or text. Cyberbullying. Did you already sign? Yes. Did you already sign? Did you sign?
Thank you for signing up.
Let's go ahead and turn around and have a photograph.
Oh.
Now a photograph. Yeah, like students across the front. I think where the poster is, they must. How are you doing? We put them here in the middle. In 1, 2, 3.
Now my turn.
Was a suggestion to hold up our hands like
Yes,
we're
like you're
pledging?
pledging.
That's a good idea. Although we pledge to finish the pledge.
You're right, but you just did this.
In Russia.
1, 2, 3.
Got you, Brian.
Okay, wait,
All right,
wait,
hold on,
wait.
hold on, here we
I
go.
can't see.
Grab that. 1, 2, let me see you on the.
Okay, now it's my turn. Yay, 1, 2, 3. Yay. Wait, sorry. Thank you.
There we go. Well done. Thank you all very much. You the same, Joe. Pleasure's all ours. Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for everything you're doing. Appreciate it. Thank you. Much better with glasses. Always the best part of the meeting, proclamations.
Yeah.
Next item, number 9, are board members, board committees, superintendent and district reports. First is 9A, committee reports. Number 1, A1 is instructional services briefing. Trustee Saldivar.
Thank you, Mr. President. This past week, Trustee Alvarado and I met with Assistant Superintendent Dr. Silvia Ibarra to discuss the items in the agenda, which are, under the consent one, will be 11A through E, and under 12A, 1 through 3. And we're prepared to participate in any discussions if the board members have any questions. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, trustee. 9A2 is human resource briefing. Ms. Aliceda's not here, but Mr. Trustee Suarez will be giving the report this evening.
Thank you, Mr. President. We met with the committee regarding certain issues that will be on the agenda. Perhaps the most important one is the insurance. We met as a committee, and the items brought forth are on the agenda. We'll vote on them today.
If you'll hold the mic, Trustee Suarez. 9A3, district operations briefing. Chair, Mr. Suarez.
Thank you. Mr. Forina, Ms. Debbie Alidera, and myself met with Mr. Trevino, who is now in district operations. We talked about several things. The first was the report regarding the maintenance and operation, and that will be explained in the meeting. I will say that I want to say thank you to all our employees that are making our facilities that much better. Also, we'll have the approval of agreement for qualifications on an on-call engineer and the approval of a competitive seal proposal.
Thank you, Trustee Suarez. And 9A4, Business Operations Briefing, Chair, Trustee Larry Esparza.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Fortina and myself met individually with Mrs. Richards to discuss 4 items, one of them being the public meeting that was discussed earlier regarding the proposed tax rate. There'll be some information regarding the monthly financial investment report for the month of July 2018, and 2 other items that will be up for discussion tonight.
Thank you,
Mr.
Trustee. Thank you, Trustee Suarez. Esparza. 9B1, District Reports. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. McAllen Independent School District hosted its annual event to promote the college-going culture and to guide McAllen students with their post-secondary admission process. And this event took place at the McAllen Convention Center on September 24, 2018, from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Dr. Ibarra will share some highlights from this event, and this is for information purposes only. Dr. Ibarra.
Yes, sir. If you can just give me a minute, we're having a little bit of trouble with the technology. I do have a PowerPoint. I think some of you, if you're connected, if you can please disconnect. We have too many. Okay, there we go. Yes, that's the one.
There you go.
Thank you. Yes, good evening once again. This evening I have a short report regarding College Night, which was held last night at the McAllen Convention Center. The College Night event is scheduled in collaboration with the Texas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers. This event aligns with our goal to increase the number of students that graduate college ready and Goal 1 of our strategic plan, Student Achievement, Student Focus. The Counseling and Guidance Department organized the event to afford students and parents the opportunity to meet with college representatives to learn about programs of study at each college or university, admission requirements, and deadlines. In addition, students and parents have an opportunity to attend financial aid presentations. And we had over 64 colleges in attendance. We also had 4 military branches that were represented, and as well as Border Patrol, and the Border Patrol was also there, and also 4 scholarship organizations that were promoting their scholarship. We had close to 1,000 parents and students that attended. And the reason that it's very successful and it's very smooth is because we do have a system that we use before the students report to the College Night. They do fill out a pre-registration form that allows them to save time. So by the time they get to College Night, the representatives on the colleges already have their information by scanning a barcode. So it expedites the process and allows parents and students a little bit more time to visit different representatives, different colleges. We also wanted to come back and share numbers. As you know, one of the goals, again, is to prepare our students to be college ready, and 2 of those main tasks is for students to submit college admission applications and financial aid. We do have here a comparison from the year prior to June 2017 to June 2018, and you can see that our efforts have paid off. The college admission specialists, the counselors, they do a great job in encouraging students to submit college applications. And in all the campuses, with the exception of 1, we did increase the number of students who submitted college applications as of June 2018. And you can see the figures there before on the screen. The same holds true for financial aid applications. Again, our goal for both of these items is 100%, and I think we're closing the gap. Again, you can see that from June 2017 to June 2018, we did have growth. We did have more students that submitted their financial aid applications, and that is our goal. We'll continue to work with our students for this senior class and hopefully reach our goal of 100% of every one of the campuses.
Dr. Bott, I have a question real quick.
Yes,
on that
sir.
previous slide, on the application admissions, you're not saying that they've been admitted to at least one college, they've applied to at least one
They have
college.
applied, yes, sir. We also brought you a report in June on the number of scholarships that have been awarded to our students, and it wasn't a final figure, so tonight we bring you the final figure. The figures in black was what we reported to you in June, and the figure in red is the new figure, and this is again as of last month. So our numbers have been updated, and so the total for this year in end of year scholarship amounts is 39,610,433. So that is an increase of 433,000 more than the prior year. And of course, college readiness efforts continue throughout the year, specifically in September and October. Some of the activities that are taking place: senior college advisement and senior workbook presentation, September 3rd through the 7th, that took place. Senior parent night at each high school, September 18th from 6 to 7 p.m. UTRGV application drive the entire month of September. PSAT classroom presentations for 9th through 11th graders, October 1st through the 5th. And the PSAT school-wide exam will be on October the 10th. Financial aid parent information meeting is scheduled for October 11th at Memorial High School, and financial aid transmittal night is scheduled for October 25th at Mac High from 5:30 to 8. And finally, during the month of September and October, through October, 9th through 11th grade presentations on how to make the most of their school year are taking place at all our high schools. And so at this time, I'd like to open it up for questions, and of course, Dr. De Hoyos is here in case you have any questions for her or for me.
Thank you, Dr. Ibarra and Dr. Hoyos, for being here. Is there any questions or comments from the board?
Just a comment, Mr. President. Trustees, thank you, sir. You set a goal, and you're there. You're making a tremendous effort, you and your staff, to get these students to, at the very least, register for college. By colleges, are you referring also to STC Community College as well as a higher four-year institution?
Yes.
Like UTRGV? Okay.
Yes.
Do you know how many are going to a community college versus a
We have the data to show the applications that we have submitted to STC or four-year university. We can give you that. But one of the efforts is that students submit an application to at least RGV. At least that one, for sure, that's 100%. And then, of course, we have the data to show where students have submitted, for up to 10 universities.
I noticed in one of the areas that it's just low on the FAFSA. Any particular reason? Is it they don't see a need, or they think that they don't qualify, so they're not submitting?
Well, the FAFSA, the goal for the region is 60%. And so we surpassed that, of course. There's many factors. Sometimes students do not want to submit an application due to their financial status. Others, parents choose not to give that information, or want other people to really know about their income tax return, and we respect that.
Fair enough. But even then, across the board, a couple of them are at 100%. So again, kudos to you. Yes. Thank you very much for your efforts and for your report today. Hopefully, Dr. Ibarra as well. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, Trustees Barza, you have
I just wanted to comment that regarding the FAFSA applications, that's a big increase from what it was the year before. And I think that's really important because a lot of times kids don't apply because they think I won't qualify, but that opens up the doors for other opportunities for them, scholarships and so forth. So that's great that you have. I mean, they were barely in the 60% in some of those, and now they're in the 80s and 90%. So that's really good.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Trustee Suarez.
I want to echo the words of my fellow board members in that things have really, we're definitely seeing the progress throughout the years, and that's awesome. And I had some parents attend yesterday, and they were very impressed with the amount of choices they had. One comment that was made, and perhaps this is a challenge for us as a district, is on that same night to add maybe a career technology area, if not have a career technology night, so that the students that have not aligned themselves with the university at least see that there's options out there for them as well.
And I don't know if you want to address that, because we had that at some point?
We have gone back and forth, and again, because we have received input to do either or. In 2 years ago, I think we were doing a combination of college and career night. And so the request at the time was made that for us to separate it, and so we did. But again, we could do both, or we can certainly.
Yeah, no doubt, even if it's separated, as long as there's
Yes.
something for the kid that's not going to go to college and see what's out there for them
Yes.
too. And even employers would, I'm sure, would love to talk to some of our kids to see what kind of training they need to enter the workforce right away.
Yes, sir.
And last year, we did have the Career Endorsement Expo and we targeted the middle school, but we can definitely look at high school.
Targeting the high school, exactly. And this year, it's scheduled again for January, but again, the target audience is 8th graders. So what you're saying is target the older students, the high school students. Okay, sir.
Mr. President, if I may.
Dr. Gonzalez.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank the staff. I know a lot of work went into that production yesterday. There was a lot of colleges there, a lot of moving parts, and it went off very, very well. Also, thank you to all the parents that took the time to be there with their students. We saw a lot of families coming together to go visit these colleges and seeing these different opportunities. So thank you, parents and students. And to any student or any parent that didn't get to go, please reach out to your school. You have administration and the counseling department that will give you comprehensive advisement and answer any questions you may have about your child's future or your future if you're a student. And lastly, I want to thank our Board of Trustees for setting the bar high for us. I know that the challenge came to increase the amount of students applying for college and applying for financial aid, and the staff worked hard to meet that challenge, but we have a diverse board that cares a lot, and we appreciate you all.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. Thank you, Dr. De Hoyos. Thank you, Dr.
you.
Ibarra. Next item this evening is 9B2, report regarding accommodations on college board exams for special education students. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. The Special Education Department, in collaboration with Advanced Academics, works diligently to ensure that students with disabilities receive necessary accommodations on college board exams. Dr. Ibarra, Maribel Elizondo, and Karen Nitsch will share more information about this very important topic, and this item is for information purposes only.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And again, this report aligns with Goal 1 of our strategic plan, student achievement, student focus. And so one of the requirements that the universities have for any student that's wanting to go to a university is that they must meet the prerequisite requirements, and that is that they have to have a qualifying score on a college entrance exam, such as a SAT or a TSI. And so here in McAllen ISD, we're very proud that we provide many opportunities for our students to take those tests. We do it through school-wide efforts where we have ACT school-wide, and usually that's scheduled in April. We also advertise and encourage all of our students to take opportunities of the Saturday ACT test days, and we also provide fee waivers. And in addition, we also test our students with TSI throughout the year. However, some students with documented disabilities are eligible for accommodations on college board exams. In an effort to better meet the needs of our students with disabilities and facilitate the approval of requested accommodations, McAllen ISD Instructional Services Division has developed a system to collaborate with College Board on the accommodations request process, and this evening we'd like to share that process with you. But first of all, let me just share a little bit of background information. So students cannot take the SAT subject test, PSAT, PSAT 10, or AP exams with accommodations unless the request for accommodation has been approved by the College Board. So the type of accommodations or the type of disabilities that are eligible are blindness, visual impairments, learning disorders, physical and medical impairments such as cerebral palsy, diabetes, and other motor impairments, including some 504 disabilities. In order to apply for an accommodation, the parents must submit doctor's documentation from a doctor. Now, once the College Board receives the request and the paperwork from the doctor, then the College Board at that time determines if the accommodation will be granted and what is the appropriate accommodation. Now, this is a little bit different than our IEPs and our 504 plans because they are independent of College Board. So although a student may receive a 504 and IEP accommodation, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that College Board will grant it. However, we, as an institution, will make every effort and be the advocates for the students to help students secure those accommodations or something comparable. The types of accommodations you can see here on the slide, there's quite a few. I'm just going to name a few. Braille, for instance, large print, color overlays, magnification machine, use of highlighters, readers, audio testing. All of those are allowable accommodations. In addition, students may also request permission for food or medicine, use of EpiPens, signing of instructions, use of four-function calculator, as well as extra or extended breaks. These are all typical accommodations, multiple day testing and so forth. So they are quite extensive, and again, it all depends and varies by student, from students to student. It is a lengthy process, so we do want to start the process early as possible. The approval can take from 7 weeks or longer, and in some cases, a college board may request additional documentation from the parents, and so that may even prolong it a little bit longer. Now, in the case where we have students who transfer one district to another, one campus to another, College Board does respect or honor those accommodations. And one of the things that College Board recommends is that we have a designated student SSD coordinator. It can be, or it's recommended it be a special ed staff. However, it can also be a campus staff, or it can be both. And so here in McAllen ISD, we have a great system in place. We have developed a great system in place that's going to ensure, again, that we facilitate the process for our parents, for our students, and that we ensure that all of our students receive the necessary support. At this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Maribel Elizondo, Ms. Karen Nitch from Advanced Academics, and Ms. Elizondo from Special Ed have been working very closely to develop the process, and so she will explain the process that will be followed from this point forward, or that's being implemented already.
So good evening.
Good
So the
evening.
process that you see here is basically a collaboration between the special ed teacher on the campus and the campus testing coordinator. Everything from before requesting accommodations, what needs to happen, which would be a brief ARD, where the information is shared with the parent and the student on what kind of exams are available from the PSAT, the SAT, the AP, and the TSI. Then at that point, they would get consent from the parent to submit for the accommodations. Then they would work together and submit all documentation that is needed to College Board through the SSD portal. They would continue to work together if any additional information is requested, because sometimes they request information as when the student first got identified. So everything all the way from when they got identified at 3 years old. So it's a lot of information. Then if anything is additionally requested, they will submit that to College Board once again. And once this process takes place, it is good for their freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, and 1 year after graduation. If any time between those years, there's additional accommodations that want to be requested by the parent or the student, they must again submit the change of request accommodations through College Board and get approval. So that will be the process that we follow here in McAllen ISD. It really is a collaboration between the special ed teacher and the campus testing coordinator. Yes, sir.
Mr. President, if I may have a quick question. Mr. Elizondo, if a student doesn't graduate with their cohort, as you know, they can be here to 22. And so how would that work if they do not graduate within the normal 4 years, or even that 1 year after, but rather stay a little bit longer and plan to graduate at the age of 22? If they go through this process, will that still hold true, what you said, or it's only a maximum of 5 years?
So it's a maximum, it would go to the 1 year. It's valid 1 year after graduation, or 1 year. So they would have to, again, do the process all over again after the 5th year.
After the 5th year.
Yes. So it's valid for 5 years.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you.
And next, I'd like to ask Ms. Karanich to talk a little bit about the training that she provides to the staff, to the campus testing coordinators and special ed staff. She works, again, diligently to make sure that the campus coordinators have the information that they need, the tools, the resources, and so she'll elaborate on that.
So I want to say hello to everybody. This isn't a new process, but it's really a refined process. And so SSD has been in place for as long as I've been in this district, and even longer. What is different is for many years, parents were responsible for submitting the requests to the schools, and then we had, if you remember, special ed coordinators that would work with the parents through the ARDs, and then they would help the families submit the paperwork. Well, as positions change and and jobs change. You know, I think the College Board realized that that was a very inefficient process, so they then introduced the portal. So when this portal was introduced in 2016-17, that's really when we began extensive training with the campus SSD coordinators. At the time, they were our campus testing coordinators and began training on the use of the portal. What we've, so you can see there, we have multiple sessions where we're sitting with the staff and walking through the SSD requirements for each of the tests. What happens many times is special ed staff is not familiar with the use of the portal, so they'll come in and bring the information to the campus testing coordinator. So it really is a collaboration at the campus level of working to ensure that the right information is uploaded. So any questions
And
on?
then we have some of the tests up there that are eligible for accommodations.
Mr. President, I have a question. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ms. Nitsch, for your report. One of the questions I would have is, if a parent's involved in the ARD, and as they're moving through the school system and having these conversations, now you're getting to this time frame, 8th grade, 7th grade, in those ARDs. Is that the time where the parents will start to be informed about these portals and what they may need to do to start preparing for the college exams? Or
So-
at what point would that happen?
So in 8th grade, we start testing students with the PSAT 8, okay? And that really begins our suite of College Board assessments, PSAT 8 in 8th grade. Then we have PSAT again in 9th grade, 10th grade, and 11th grade. And so parents start having those opportunities to be introduced to what happens with the portal. When it comes to AP testing and TSI testing, SAT testing, those are really exams for college entrance. And so if the parents will submit their information their junior year, their sophomore and junior year, then that's the process. But it really doesn't start much earlier than that, than the sophomore, junior year.
But I guess the question I have is, what's the trigger to ensure that the accommodations are being addressed? Would it be through the ARD or through the SSD coordinator, or how would that work?
So what we're going to do is we're going to have a brief ARD to discuss these exams. And that brief ARD would cover the TSI, the PSAT, the SAT, the AP exams. That's where the parents will get the information along with the students and the consent form to apply for the accommodations. They'll start getting information on transition and post-secondary readiness their 8th grade year to transition to the high school. And then that information will continue their 9th, 10th, 11th, and their senior year.
Okay. So there may be a separate ARD just for that discussion
Correct.
versus what's happening in their class.
Correct.
In their schools.
Yes,
Thank you.
so there'll be the annual ARD to take care of all of the stuff that's happening in the campus, in the classroom, EOC testing, STAR testing, and then there'll be a brief ARD to discuss the college entrance exams.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
I had a couple of questions, kind of along the same lines, because earlier we heard from a parent saying that about they were never aware of these accommodations and staying and so forth. And kind of along the same lines there, from what I heard from your plan is the special ed teacher and the testing coordinator are going to get together and decide. But if a parent feels that their child could take advantage of the accommodations, yet they don't know that those are available, then, and you're not going to tell them unless the teacher and the coordinator say, hey, I think this child could benefit from, how is the parent going to?
No, so what happens is at the very beginning, their freshman year, they get letters sent out to them that explains the test available. Those tests will start in October, then continue throughout their years. So that's the first letter of getting the information.
Okay, but does that letter state that accommodations are available, or these are the
Yes,
tests?
it does.
It does? Okay.
It does, it does. And so all three high schools have the same template that they will be sending out to the parents. Also, the transition meetings also cover the post-secondary readiness exams and the discussions on transition. I did hear the parent earlier speak about transition. She was talking about the 18-plus program, so that is different information that she was requesting as far as certifications that she mentioned bakery or floral design. Those are classes that they can take through STC. And so that's what she was talking about also, but we need to make sure that all that information is provided starting in 8th grade and then every year till they graduate. And for those kids, their senior year, when they're 18 and they're gonna decide either they graduate or they come back to us, we need to give them that information of what else McAllen ISD is going to offer for the 18-plus program.
And part of does the art packet have a place where, I guess when they have that transition meeting, where the parents can check off saying, yes, it was explained to them that accommodations are available? Because you know how it is, you
Yes.
tell them, and you know, there's an art committee, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts.
Yes.
And they may forget, and they'll come back and say, well, I wasn't made aware of that. I know there's a lot of areas in there. Is that one of the areas that?
And right now, there isn't in any of the paperwork, but there is a checkbox for post-secondary readiness, and there's also the minutes. That's why I think it's important to have a separate meeting, a brief ARD, just to discuss the college entrance exams, because an annual ARD can be overwhelming. There's a lot of information that you're receiving, everything from the full evaluation to the supports in the classrooms to what's going to be needed for the test in the campus. So that's why I think it's important to have a brief ARD to just describe and give the information on college entrance exams. I think that's the first step.
Thank you.
Mr. President, if I may. One thing, and point well taken from our parent that came up today, we know that in our district, we need to do a better job with the transition process. One of the things that we don't want is a student to go through the whole McAllen ISD experience, get to 18 years old, and then make a choice to go to another district because they have a better transition program. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to get together as a staff, and we're going to really ramp up our program and get with STC and see how we can create a transition program that keeps our kids with us, because we want them to stay with us. We want to provide them with a multitude of opportunities, a multitude of job skills, so that when parents have that choice to make, that McAllen ISD is their choice, because we have the best program. So we are going to go out and visit some districts that are doing it well, and I can assure you, in working with the team, that we will improve our current program tremendously in the next couple of weeks.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. Trustee Sadilo?
Thank you. I was just gonna, it's not the topic for what we're talking about here, so I can't get too far off, or the board president wants to put us back on track, but I do want to make a comment because, and rightly so. You mentioned the student, as was, his parents were here today and talking about that. That was a Memorial Mustang football player, by the way, and we all know him, Tommy. Is that if they actually graduate, walk across with their cohort and get the diploma, unfortunately, they can no longer continue with a transition, and the district can no longer get those funds from the state. So that has to be coordinated, and I know you will. But again, going back to identifying alternatives for some students, and it's good to hear the superintendent mention that we're going to do better, because maybe they can get those certifications as we're going through, and I think that's what the focus was being presented by the parent tonight.
Correct. We have gotten information on the certificates that are available with STC for our students for 18 plus, and we also have already made appointments to go visit PSJA, and we're working on an appointment for Laredo ISD to also go visit them.
I'd just like to say, Mrs. Elizondo and Dr. Gonzalez, Dr. Ibarra, Mrs. V, may miss one or two folks. You all were there at the listening forum with the Down syndromes in the Arc of Texas. It was a long day and a long evening, but you stayed there, and I know those parents appreciated it, and I did as well. So thank you very much for attending.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you all. Appreciate the report.
Thank you.
You know, that light went out in the back of the room at the right time, because our next item on the agenda is 9B3, report regarding facilities maintenance and operations. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir.
So we're getting
This
new-
is a
new
monthly
building?
report from our Facilities Maintenance and Operation Department. Mr. Trevino will present this month's projects, and this item is for information purposes only.
Good evening, members of the board, President Vela and Dr. Gonzalez. I'm here to present on the projects being completed for the month of September by our Facilities Maintenance and Operations Department. On the first slide, we have the Morris Middle School Safety Security Entrance, which is now fully completed. Last month, it was still lacking some of the areas. Now it's fully a complete project. Our next slide is the Cathy Middle School bleacher replacement. That is now fully complete. A walkthrough has been conducted, and we will be presenting a final payment to the contractor in the next month. The following slide is the Lamar Academy fencing on the west side for the student parking. That is now completed as well. And we are working with Our Lady of Sorrows as well to, we've issued out a set of keys to their maintenance and operations department at OLS, so they now have a key in case of an emergency. They're able to open the gates for weekend services across the street. Our next slide is the middle school and high school gyms, which were all varnished, refinished prior to the volleyball season. They've all been completed as well. The ongoing projects that we currently have right now is we've moved on to the high school campuses. As we've discussed, Lamar Academy is now in process. We've moved out of the principal's office, going down some of the administrative areas there at Lamar, and following Lamar will be McAllen High School. Over at McAllen High School, we've relocated the new hut for the parking area on the east side of the main entrance of the campus, and the Rowe High School relocation will take place by the end of this week as well, moving that Rowe hut further east from the location that it's at right now. The whiteboard installation projects continue. Memorial High School has been completed. Alvarez is complete. Seguin is being worked on, which is scheduled, and Achieve is also scheduled as well, along with some of the other campuses that submit work orders. We now have whiteboards in stock as well for some of our campuses throughout the district at our warehouse. Our roofing projects are ongoing. We've got Gonzalez ongoing, Rayburn, which is ongoing as well. Lincoln is in design. We're anticipating Lincoln and our Department of Technology, which is that one standalone building at Crockett, to be finished here in the next 30 to 45 days so that we're able to put it out to bid on those two projects. We have the fence replacement that's been put on hold over at Fossum due to our rain delay days that we currently had this past week and a half. The air handler replacements are fully complete at Rowe High School. Walkthrough is being scheduled, and camera and intercom installs are going on at Achieve, De Leon, Jackson, and McHigh. The McHigh camera installation is fully completed, and the final payment will be coming to the board for next month. Fire alarm replacements are at 90% completion. Edmond, HR, Alvarez, and Lamar are some of our fire alarm projects that we currently have about completed. Submitted and completed work orders for the month of August. We had 1,730 work orders submitted, 1,152 completed for the month of August. And this concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. Does anyone have any comments or questions? Trustee Esparza.
Ruben, where are we on the fence over at Gonzalez Elementary?
We met a week ago with the executive PTO for Gonzalez Elementary. We've identified the areas of the fence. We're pending one meeting with the city as well, with our Parks and Rec department for one option to see and ask permission to see if we can go around that parking area at Gonzalez. We also currently have a fence bid that is currently out right now for proposals. And that fence bid will include all three types of fences that we're currently using within the district, one of them being the ornamental fence that Gonzalez is requesting.
And that fence that's there now, did you guys clarify who put that up, who belongs to? Or
That was part of the upgrade when the city school park project went up, and we were working with Parks and Rec to determine, it will be taken out, but that would more than likely be property of the city.
That's what I say, they're gonna
Yes.
want it back and stuff like, just make sure you get all that cleared up.
Yes.
because, okay, thank you, Mr. President.
Trustee Saldivar. Thank you, sir, Mr. President. These August requests submitted, 1,730 and completed 1,152. What types of requests are we receiving? Is it to move a plug from one well to another, or is it following a schedule that you would put in place in your department?
The requests that come in vary. They can be from replacing, like you say, a plug from one wall to another, installing a countertop, or installing a striker and a door. So they're put on a list, and then we gradually go back.
How many
to
are
tackle.
generated from teachers wanting to, they've been moved from one room to another campus, requesting certain things for that new classroom they may be in, out of that number?
Most of those work orders will apply to computer labs, which we need to do electrical upgrades on the designated classrooms. But every campus has 2 designated persons at the campus that will submit work orders. So everybody at that campus goes to those people to submit them. But they will vary from administration to any teacher slash custodial, along with campus general maintenance at the high schools. We have one general maintenance person in each of our comprehensive high schools, and they're also allowed to submit work orders when they cannot take care of it themselves at the campus.
Thank you for your report. Thank you,
Mr. President, if I may.
Dr. Gonzalez.
One thing that's unique and we're very proud of in our district with regard to FMO is we do castle rounds, which is rounds that staff do at the campus level. They look at cleanliness, they look at air quality, safety, they look at technology, lighting, and the exterior. So some of those work orders are generated through the rounds that staff members are making. And we backed that up to, Ruben, we backed it up to
We're now
every 2
doing
weeks
castle
now, right?
rounds at the campuses every 2 weeks.
So we originally started every week and pushing real hard, but now that the staff's got the campuses under control with regard to the aspects we're talking about, we've backed it up to every 2 weeks, and we're seeing a lot of positive results. And the administration and their teams really understand the intricacies of their buildings, and a lot of positive work orders and positive reporting have come from those rounds. So I did want to thank Ruben and the team and the district personnel and campus personnel that are making that happen, and Tony also for managing all that data.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. Any other questions? Move on to item number 9B4, report regarding monthly financial. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. Ms. Richards will present the monthly financials for July 2018. This item is for information purposes only. Ms. Richards.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. The July financial statements reflect year-to-date revenues of $1,560,071. And expenditures of $6,387,006, resulting in expenditures over revenues of $4,826,936. I will move on and report on the investment report for July. The beginning market value is $98,200,089, and the ending market value is $97,888,775. We are also reflecting an average yield to maturity for the period of 1.824%. The next page reflects the diversification of investments by market sector. We will begin with Lone Star, Texpool, agencies, and Frost Bank. The following page reflects interest earnings in the amount of $144,918.08. And that concludes my report for tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Richards. Does anybody have any questions or comments on the report? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next item this evening, item number 10, actions in closed session. Dr. Gonzalez?
Yes, sir. Human Resources is submitting a list of recommendations under separate cover for discussion during closed session. We are requesting action on this item.
Second. It's been moved by trustee Aliceta, seconded by trustee Suarez. Any questions or comments on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item 10B, Dr. Gonzalez?
Human Resources is submitting a list of resignations for the 2018-2019 school year under separate cover for discussion during closed session. This item is for information purposes only.
And item 10C.
Yes, sir. We recommend approval of Joel Garcia Jr. for the position of Executive Director for Technology, and we are requesting action on this item.
So moved. Second. It's been moved by trustee Suarez and seconded by trustee Saldívar. Any questions or comments on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, board.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Crane, we have 10D, pending and/or potential litigation.
No report.
Thank you, sir. And you follow up with 10E, possible real estate acquisition.
No report.
Thank you, Mr. Crane. Next item is consent agenda items.
Mr. President?
Trustee Suarez.
I'd like to make a motion to approve, under section 11, items A through E. So move for approval.
Second. It's been moved by trustee Suarez and seconded by trustee Saldívar that we approve consent agenda items 11A through 11E. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, board.
Yes, sir.
Item 12, instructional services. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. McAllen Independent School District Board of Trustees approve annually class size waiver for classes above 22-to-1 ratio in pre-K 4 based on continuous enrollment over 30 days in those classes. The waiver is then submitted to the Commissioner of Education for approval. Dr. Ibarra will share more information, and we will be requesting action on this item. Dr.
Thank you,
Ibarra.
Dr. Gonzalez. Yes, we are requesting 50 class size waivers at various schools, and you have the chart here on the screen for your review. One of the questions that I was asked is the type of classrooms that we are requesting waivers for, so I have the information here before you. We have color-coded it, so regular classrooms, we are requesting 10 waivers. For GT classrooms, we are requesting 15 classroom waivers, and for dual bilingual ESL, 25 waivers for a total of 50. I also like to share the comparison from last year and the previous year, 2017 and 2016. So as you can see, we are doing our very best to bring down the number of class size waivers from year to year. So we are at 50. Last year we were at 60 at this time, and the year before at 62. I do just want to show you an example of how we staff our classrooms. We do follow a guideline of 22-to-1. That is always our goal. As an example, we have a grade level of 107 students in the grade level. So that means that that grade level qualifies for 5 teachers for a maximum students of 110 students without needing any waivers. Students in the grade level, which is very typical, would be 48 English learners, 23 GT, and 36 regular. In a scenario 1, of course, if we divide it equally, we would have 2 classrooms at 22 and 3 classrooms at 21. However, when we calculate or throw into the equation the student groups, then that's where it changes. So as an actual scenario looks more like this: bilingual, we have in bilingual classroom number 1, we have 24 students, bilingual classroom number 2, 24 students, GT cluster 23, and then regular classroom 4 and 5 at 18 each. So although we have room in the grade level and we have room in certain classrooms, we don't have room in bilingual or GT, and that's typically the case in most of our schools.
Thank you, Dr. Ibata. The items before you, board, anyone have any comments or questions on this item? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
It's been moved by trustee Suarez. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second by trustee Esparza. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Dr. Ibata. 12A2, Dr. Gonzalez.
Mr. President, I'll be abstaining from 12A2 and 12A3.
Let the record show that trustee Esparza will be abstaining and has filed the proper paperwork to show that. Thank you, Mel. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. On June 18th, the board approved an MOU between McAllen Independent School District and Head Start. However, new requirements have been added by Head Start that were not included in the original MOU. Therefore, the original MOU needs to be rescinded, and we are requesting action on this item.
Second. It's been moved by trustee Alicea, seconded by trustee Suarez. Any comments or questions? All those in favor of the motion to rescind signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. I'm sorry, 4-0 and 1. Thank you, sir. Dr. Gonzalez, 12-3.
The McAllen Independent School District and the Hidalgo County Head Start have partnered to provide services to low-income 3- and 4-year-old children currently enrolled in Head Start centers in the McAllen Independent School District. Teachers will provide instructional support to students in 18 classrooms, and we are requesting action on this item.
So moved. Second. It's been moved by trustee Saldivar and seconded by trustee Suarez. Any comments or questions? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0-1. The record show that trustee Esparza abstained from this item as well. We move on to 12B, Human Resources. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. The district sponsors a self-funded medical, pharmacy, and dental plan for its employees. Administration discussed proposed changes for the 18-19 plan year during the board workshop on September 19th. These changes will take effect January 1st, 2019, and we are requesting action on this item.
So moved.
It's been moved by trustee Suarez and seconded by trustee Alicea. Any comments or questions on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor of the item signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item 12B2, Dr. Gonzalez.
On September 10th, 2018, the Board of Trustees approved the proposal for a core set of supplemental benefit products, including life insurance, vision, and others. Administration is requesting a revision to the said previous approval for term life, accidental dismemberment, death and dismemberment, and Mr. Miller will discuss this further.
Due to an administration transcription error on the evaluation worksheet for Lincoln National Life Insurance Company, AD&D reads, this insurance company was listed incorrectly as a top-ranked product being represented by Salazar Insurance Group, LLC. After correcting the error, Mutual of Omaha became the top-ranked life AD&D product. Top-ranked agent, Salazar Insurance Group, is also named servicing agent of Mutual of Omaha. There are no other changes to the other products awarded on September 10th, 2018, which include disability, vision, cancer, and legal. All of these products are available for purchase by our employees at 100% employee paid. This action is to rescind the award to Lincoln National Insurance Company and award to Mutual of Omaha with Salazar Insurance Group. And I take personal responsibility for this transcription error.
Second.
Mr. President, it's just one that we may want to read the actual motion, or are we okay with?
Well, you're rescinding the motion that you made before for the term life AD&D.
Right.
And it's what they've done is they've combined the rescission with the approval of the new top-ranked firm of Mutual of Omaha.
Normally, we have a recension first and then.
Normally, we have two separate motions.
And that's the reason I was suggesting maybe we need to have two motions, one to rescind, approve that, and then read the second. But I'm all right if we do it this way.
It wouldn't hurt to do it that way.
I think it'd be easier.
And that's a very good point, and we'll follow that. But I have a question.
Yes.
Does this rescind the life portion only?
Yes, sir.
Did the original motion include the whole package?
Yes, sir. All the products, the disability, vision, cancer, and legal.
But it was all under one approval the first time, right?
Yes, sir.
So this will be to rescind just the portion that deals with the life insurance, and that's addressed in your, okay.
Yes, sir.
You had a question, trustees? Anyone else?
We may, Mr. President, you may want to restate that motion if you're going to separate them into
Okay.
two motions.
Then
Withdraw
I-
the previous motion and make another motion. Just
I understand,
to
we're gonna
rescind.
have a motion to rescind the portion of a previous item that was approved that deals with the life insurance portion only.
Correct, but before you do that, you probably need to have the motion and the second withdrawn.
I'll withdraw the second.
I withdraw my motion.
They were gonna do that, Steve.
So, what you just stated, that would be my motion.
Okay, so
It's
there's a
okay with-
motion to rescind the life insurance portion of the previously awarded.
Which was Lincoln National Life Insurance.
Is there a second to
Okay.
Ms. Trustee Saldivar?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to rescind that portion of the previous item only. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the item signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The rescinded motion, the motion to rescind is approved 5-0. Now I'll entertain a motion to award.
Mutual of Omaha Life for term.
I
life.
move we award, we approve Mutual of Omaha Life for term life, AD&D insurance.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Aliceta, seconded by trustee Saldivar. Any questions or comments on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. You got all that right, Mr. Miller?
Yes, sir.
If not, you can go back and review the tape.
Thank you.
We okay with that?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. We're going to 12C, district operations items. Dr. Gonzalez?
Yes, sir. The district solicited statements of qualification for the selection of on-call engineering and materials testing. The Board of Trustees authorized staff to negotiate agreements, and we are requesting action on this item.
So move.
It's been moved by trustee Suarez. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Saldivar. Any comments or questions on this item?
I have a question, Mr. President.
Trustee Esparza?
I looked through all of those and all the contracts, none of them had any fees for the engineers. That page was blank. It just says.
It has contract rates.
It doesn't say, well, it just says engineering rates, but it doesn't
Yeah,
say
it's
what those are.
contract rates, and each of those contracts is done by work authorization. It's issued, so it could come up during times of the year, and the engineer is bound by those contracts rates. I believe it's Exhibit C or D.
Okay, because I looked at the exhibits and it just said engineering rates. It didn't have
Contract
any.
rates, and it's got the rate of each type of engineer, whether they're an engineer or whether they're an assistant or whatever. And so when they bill, they have to bill at those contract rates.
Okay. And you saw that in there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Those rates are previously negotiated. is
They
that
were
correct?
previously negotiated.
That's right. And I realized that. I just didn't see them on the contract
It's
itself
either
or the,
Exhibit C or D, I believe, is
or the
contract rates.
exhibits. But if you say they're there and you saw them, you're approving it, then I'll take your word for it. If not, it'll be your fault, like Mr. Miller's. Thanks. Thank you. Mr.
Thank you,
President.
trustee Esparza. Any other further comments or questions on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Moving on to 12C2, Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. The district solicited proposals to upgrade the lighting system and theater equipment at all three high schools, and we are requesting action on this item.
So move.
Second.
Jeez.
So dramatic.
We got a big cheerleader in the back, man. You happy, man? Good.
It's been moved by trustee.
Oh, hold on, it hasn't been passed yet, so don't get too happy.
I have some
I haven't
questions.
presented it yet. It's been moved by trustee Suarez and seconded by trustee Aliceta. Any comments or questions on this item?
What exactly is covered under the scope, Ruben?
The scope of work for this particular construction contract will be the dimmer racks for all three fine arts facilities, along with the LED lighting package.
What was the first part?
The dimmer racks, which are the controls for all of your lighting, stage lighting.
Okay.
Um,
What is the estimated cost of this project?
The estimated cost right now is $548,105, with a $30,000 contingency included in that price.
That's not per high school though, right?
No,
that's
sir.
all
This is for all three.
Okay. And that was something that was budgeted for this year?
This is within budget, yes, sir.
But it was budgeted for this year, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any further comments or questions? Trustee Saldívar.
Thank you, Mr. President. Timeframe for the installation, and have you decided on which order you'll take them?
We've allotted 150 days on the contract to be able to give some flexibility to the contractor to work with our fine arts directors at each high school so that they can either come in and do one or two of the sections of the dimmer racks along with some of the electrical and the installation of the LED lights.
Are they
So
going to be
that
all
is-
three done simultaneously,
Yes.
Mr. Trevino? Or are going to one school then the other?
They
and the
can
other?
all be worked on at the same time. However, we want to work with our programs to not interfere with anything that may be happening.
150 days.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Saldívar. Trustee Suarez.
I have a follow-up question. I won't be out of topic for too long, but I know that last couple of meetings, when we first discussed this, and we weren't within the budget that we wanted to be in, we had also talked about the total phase of doing everything at one time, which would be, you know, painting the facilities, cleaning it up,
Seats.
and seating. Is that a different phase? I know hasn't been brought to the board yet, but this would not interfere with the construction of that portion of the phases, right?
Correct. The seating along with the painting of the inside of the actual seating areas will be the next phase that will be coming, and we'll be presenting a budget to, you know, establish a budget
Stay on
for
topic
it
for
and
now.
then go.
That's the Christmas present part of it.
We do have a,
He's really smiling back there now, look at him.
we do have a sample of the seats that we proposed last time with the price. So we do have the sample here in one of the offices, so that we can take a look at it and, you know, see how it works.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. Anyone else?
I liked it.
For the record, Debbie liked it.
Wow.
Took it for a test drive.
Hearing no more questions. Any further comments or questions? All those in favor of the item signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. And lady. Item 12D1, business operations. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. The Truth in Taxation Texas Education Code and Board Policy CCG requires districts to set the school tax rate for each fiscal year. Ms. Richards will discuss this item further, and we are requesting action on this item.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. The district met the truth in taxation laws by publishing the notice of public meeting to discuss proposed debt service tax rate on September 12th, 2018, and by holding a public meeting on September 25th, 2018. The district's fiscal year for 2018-2019's budget was planned using a tax rate of $1.15.5. The tax rate for maintenance and operations was $1.15.5, and for debt service, it was 0. There will be no overall increase to the district's proposed total tax rate for the current 2018 tax year. Administration is seeking action on this item. The motion must be read as indicated, and a record vote is requested.
Mr. President, if I may.
Trustee Saldívar.
Thank you, sir. First motion, I move that the debt service INS property tax rate be set at a tax rate of 0. This tax rate will not raise more taxes for debt service than last year's debt service tax rate. The tax rate will effectively raise by 0% and will raise taxes by for the debt service on a $100 home by $0.
Is there a second to Trustee Saldívar? Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments on this item?
Just a comment, it needs to be a record vote.
Yes, sir. Roll call.
Roll call vote, and we'll start to my right with Trustee Esparza.
In favor, right? Yes.
Yes. I hope so. Trustee Saldívar.
Yes.
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 And I vote in favor as well. Motion carries 5-0. Second motion to this item. Trustee Saldivar, if you'll do us the honors.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, thank you. I move to approve the resolution setting the 2018 debt service tax rate of the McAllen Independent School District for the year beginning on January 1, 2018 and ending December 31st, 2018.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments on this item? Mr. Crane, do we require a roll call vote?
Record vote.
That's what I thought. Hearing none, I will ask for a roll call vote. Again, to my right, Trustee Esparza.
Yes, in favor.
Trustee Saldivar.
Yes, sir, in favor.
Trustee Esparza. Suarez.
You're really making him up today.
Man, I don't know. He's moving everywhere.
I'm in favor.
Trustee Alicea.
In favor?
Would you like to vote?
Yes,
on
sir.
it?
I was listening. In
And
favor.
I vote in favor, so motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Board.
Yes.
Moving on to item 12E, Board of Trustees, approval of Board of Education minutes. Administration has asked that the Board of Trustees consider approval of the attached. Oh, I'm sorry. Going back to 12D2, Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. Due to the approval of the tax ratification election, administration is requesting the approval of this resolution. Ms. Richards will discuss this item further, and we will be requesting action on this item. Ms. Richards.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. On September 8th, 2018, the voters of the McAllen Independent School District approved the tax ratification election, setting the maintenance and operations tax rate at $1.15. On this date, September 25th, 2018, the Board of Trustees approved the setting of the interest and sinking tax rate at $0.00. In order to meet the required payment obligations in the district's interest and sinking fund, it will be necessary to transfer the amount of $7,865,415 from surplus funds contained within the district's general fund unassigned fund balance to the interest and sinking fund. And administration is requesting action on this item.
So moved.
I think, Mr. Crane, do we need to actually read out this motion as well?
It's actually a resolution.
Do we have to?
Yes, it is.
You're approving the resolution.
Okay.
And I believe, have you read the resolution?
She
The resolution's in your packet, I
It's in
believe.
the packet.
So the
Okay.
motion be to
Second.
approve the resolution.
It's been moved by Trustee Alicea and seconded by Trustee Suarez. Any questions or comments on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor of the item signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Ms. Richards.
Thank you.
Now, item 12E, Board of Trustees items, approval of Board of Education meeting minutes. Administration has asked that the Board of Trustees consider approval of the attached minutes. We are requesting action on these items, and we have listed before you the minutes of 5 meetings: a special board meeting on August 20th at 5:30, a special board meeting of August 27th at 3:30, a special board meeting of August 27 at 4 p.m., a regular board meeting of August 27 at 5 p.m., and a special board meeting of August 27 at 6:15. Is there a motion to approve?
Yes, sir.
It's been moved. We're going to give Trustee Alvarado, he hadn't done anything all night. Trustee Alvarado has made a motion. Is there a second to his motion?
Since I was working, I did
Second.
something to just,
A second by Trustee Saldiva. Any questions or comments on the minute? Any corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Item 12E2 is approval of travel for Board of Trustees. Our policy requires that board members submit travel requests to the board in advance when practical. This year, the board plans to attend the TASB Fall Legal Seminar on November 17th, 2018, South Padre Island, and we are requesting action on this item. Is there a motion to approve?
so moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve travel for the Board of Directors. Any questions or comments? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 6-0. Item 13 is schedule of future meetings. October 9th, special board meeting at 4 p.m. October 9th, a regular board meeting at 5 p.m. October 22nd, special board meeting at 4 p.m. October 22nd, a regular board meeting at 5 p.m. And October 22nd, a special board meeting at 6:15 PM. These meetings will be held at the boardroom in the Administration Building at 2000 North 23rd Street. Item 14, closed session. We do not need to go into closed session this evening. So at 7:44, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. All those in favor of the item signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Thank you,
How about
board.
them Aggies, baby?
Thank you.